Hey guys, Papa Elbug here. We're ranking the Incarnon weapons. I'm gonna get straight to it, but make sure to, if you enjoy the video, like and drop a sub. The comment section's always available if you don't agree with what I've got to say. Then we can have a discussion about it. And anyway, let's get right into the video. Don't want to mess around. I want to get straight to the point. First weapon is the Parallax. This is the worst weapon out of... This really annoys me, guys. I'm gonna tell you a bit about this, and by no means is this supposed to be a build guide. This is just me telling you the ranking of these weapons from my point of view. You guys might not agree with me. Anyway, the Parallax is a shotgun that basically shoot it, then you just reload it. So like, for example, you can shoot it and then it reloads each shell at a time. But it is a pretty slow reload, and I feel like where they failed with this weapon is where they made it to where the reload is so slow, and then the Incarnon version of this weapon, and the Incarnon weapon is supposed to add to the weapon, not take away from the weapon. When you use the Incarnon version of the weapon, it's not good. I'm not even putting a build on this. This is why I'm not making this a build, guys, because I did not want to put a build on this weapon. The other weapons all have their redeeming qualities. This one does not, unfortunately. So this is how it... So, mind you, this is like minimum mods. Like, it has like extra damage on it, and that's about it. So, this is with a very low build, but I'm just trying to get the Incarnon up, right? So let's punch through on it. Here we go. It's also some pellets going from the side. It doesn't... dealt some damage to that, but then of course it's because it's pellet, and the pellets are... if we just go center mass on the enemy, it doesn't really punch through that well. And I'm sure the punch around here is just partially the pellets that are making it through. And then anyway, we've got the Incarnon form, and this is worse than the other one. Okay, I'm just gonna do a comparison. If I did that same shot on this enemy, or on the other enemies, the same exact shot, it would do more damage. So I'm gonna go to Incarnon. What's the enemy that has full health? Okay, here we go. I shoot this guy in the head. Took that little sliver away, right? Go over this guy, shooting him right in the head. That's 2 shots, my bad. It's a shot. It's literally worse if you use the Incarnon version of this weapon. And I mean, with buffs, I'm just doing this to clear the room pretty much, or we're gonna sit here all day. But these do not do damage. Like, you can add more. You can add more to these weapons. Like you can put more mods on it. It still doesn't change the fact that this weapon is not. It's not for me, and that it has the worst qualities of the Tsar and the Tigris. It's like you have to reload all the time, and that's my problem with the Tsar, and why the ROM is infinitely better than the Tsar is because you don't have the reload and then you can't. It's not like it's a mag either, to where if you had to keep reloading, but it's mag. Hey, okay, this is Inodem. This is 4. It's not that is a bad weapon like the Parallax is, but it's just not up to par. Actually, what the Incarnon form of this one does is it makes it longer and attack faster. So comparing this to the Karst Prime, the attack speed on the Karst is lower, but the range is... So this is actually... But the thing is the attack speed... Yeah, the Karst Prime is on the... Yeah, so the range on the Karst Prime is still better, but when you run the Incarnon form, it gets better. And also I have the speed addition onto this one, the attack speed. So this is actually higher attack speed, I believe this comes up like that. Yeah, it's better. So this isn't exactly completely... It isn't as good. It just felt slow when I used it the first time. This actually feels good now, but... It isn't a bad weapon. I'll definitely be keeping this one. Like, unlike the Parallax, which is going straight into the garbage. So this is what you're expecting. This is what to expect out of the weapon. With very, very basic mods on, mind you. And anyway, then you use your Incarnon form. It does a big slash, which actually does a very good amount of damage. And now it has faster speed. Visually, like, it's a lot faster. and it actually does a decent amount of slash, like a really decent amount of slash. So, this isn't showing off my build. This is just basically me telling you what this does. And also, I believe if you jump and hold it, yeah, you can throw it. So, I don't really see the point of ever doing this. Just use Zodiac Incantation, but still, this is definitely a big step above the. I don't think that really. Still, it's a lot better than Parallax, and that's what matters. Okay, here's the Praetos. This is where they start to get better. And this is when I started to put a build on these weapons. So, since the other enemies I didn't have a build on them, I'm actually going to max these out now. Because these are the ones I have a build on, and these are... So, the thing is, it's not as good as you think it would, because it doesn't have any special abilities, but it does work the same as the Inodem, where you do your heavy attack, but I don't think it has big of a range. These are higher level enemies in all fairness, but it does have some solid bleeds on it, either way. And then it speeds up and has more range, just like the Inodem. But I do like this one a lot more because it is a Tonfa. I do like the Tonfas better than the daggers. I might do a video in the future about how this one compares to the Bolt Lace in the Cronin Prime after I actually get the Cronin Prime. So this is definitely I don't have a full build on this one, but I do have this is not to showcase a build. It is not a complete build. I just keep stressing this because I don't want people to be mad because I'm not showing them good builds. This is not a build video. This is the start of my build. I suddenly put at least, like, I don't know, probably maybe 3 Forma on here. This is not it. This is just me showcasing what build I have on. And this is just showing that, what the weapon does. With buffs, so maybe like, I'm not just saying this is like a, very well, let's see, you still have the thing on, so let me just, these dudes, with Toxin, these shreds, especially, and you're probably going to have when you're playing level 185s like I am right now, you're going to have buffs. You're going to be using a Nucor. I'm not even bringing out the Nucor right now because it's not an Incarnon weapon, and somebody's going to say that's not an Incarnon weapon, and there is actually going to be something relating to Kuva weapons coming out soon, so stay sub for that. Number 2 is the Latum. And I don't have a full build on this one either. But I can at least show you what this weapon is capable of. So this one is pretty tight with the Fenmore. I just had a better time with this one, and the only reason this one, I feel like this one could be better if it was a primary. The problem is with secondaries is there's never a time you really want to switch to your secondary, because in high level gameplay, I'm going to stop my Sentinel if it will stop, but in high level gameplay you don't use a secondary. You need that for your new core slot, and for primaries that's going to be a Brahma. This weapon does have a hard time, and that's why the Fenmore's number 1 is because you want to use a primary, because in high levels, which is levels I would assume a lot of you guys would be playing, you need the new core to prime, so, or that Batath or whatever you want to use for it. So that's why this one is only number 2, because it could possibly be number 1 if it was a primary, and I think it would be number 1 as primary. So it's just a regular single shot pistol. Does some solid damage, especially for not being built up yet. It packs a solid punch. Especially when I get my corrosive procs, and plus I'm using the... But then it gets better. And then it shoots this out. These little blasts. It actually has it does have a pretty good duration for the Incarnon switchback. So yeah, it is a really solid, and I mean just for the hell of it, I'm gonna put buffs on. Gonna correct this dude. Do this. Hell, I'll put this on too. And everything here is gonna die. This is a really solid weapon, and I will probably be using this. I'll see how I can... It clearly does well in endgame. I do not have when I get secondary Merciless on here, which I don't have any secondary Arcanes, and actually get a full build on this, this will probably be one of my favorite weapons. Okay, Fenmore. It works somewhat similar to the Latum, but instead of explosives, it turns into a minigun. So get your headshots. Just did not feel like it did as much, but gotta build up your stacks, and then, yeah. Yeah. That's all I can say. Fenmore. That didn't make any sense at all. That's fine, nothing I say ever does. So, you guys, maybe for personal preference, maybe you like the Latum better, but yeah, this is, like, I just have to tap the button and then they're all dead. And I actually do have a full build. This is the only one I do have a full build on, so maybe that might skew some of the results just a bit, but I'm just saying this weapon is insane. Guys, you just gotta bring it into Steel Path, it's just gonna shred. You built, and once your stacks get built up on this, like, it doesn't matter anymore. You just want high fire rate on here, it melts everything. This is what primary weapon should feel like. This is what the full auto weapon should feel like. And not like, and actually, it's something I did want to test out, is if you guys know the combination between Chroma and Zata's Whisper, I don't want it to get out about, but if you have seen how that works, I do want to test it with this weapon, because I feel like that could be really insane. But I'm not gonna talk too much about that, because it is technically something I don't want DE knowing about, because they will patch it. Or do something to patch it. So, yeah, if you like the video, subscribe, like, comment. If you don't like the video, well, you can tell me why you don't like it. And I do listen. If you guys comment, I will listen to what you guys have to say. If you guys have any content recommendations that you want to see me make, let me know. I'm going to try uploading a bit more, because my clan's also taking off. And actually, if you guys want to message me, and if you were on PS4, you can join the it's called the HDP clan. You guys can just request to join, or just ask me on PS Chat, and if you need a clan, I can hook you up. We're starting out, and it would be nice to get some help, and some people who can. We started out a while ago. We have all our stuff researched. We're trying to make the clan look better, and if you guys can help or want to help in any way and want to help grow the community, that'd be great. But till next time, see you guys.